Hey everybody, and welcome to Today with Dana Shay's Relationship Q&A. I hope that you've been watching these videos and maybe even learning something from someone else's question. Well, today's question comes out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, and it's from Chantel. I believe that's how she pronounces her name. So anyway, Chantel says, "Hey Dana, I've seen your videos on YouTube, mostly the ones where you were promoting blank, this company I used to promote. But then I saw a video where you were answering a relationship question. I believe God led me to that one. My question is, I have been dating a guy for almost 4 years. At first, we both said that we didn't want to get married, but then I kind of changed my mind. My boyfriend doesn't see why. Why fix what's not broken, he says. Problem is, I was raised in a Christian home that taught that living together, which we have been for 2 years, is wrong. This is really starting to affect our relationship. I don't want to lose him, but I also don't want to feel like I'm not good enough to be wife material either. Please help." Wow. All right, Chantel. Well, I listened to your question, and I have some suggestions for you. But first, take a look at this.
I don't want to marry someone if I don't have a job first. The man comes asking me, running out. No, I don't want to marry you yet. I want to have a job. And if he says, I will not come back to you, fine. I'll find a different man. This is my life. You better stop caring. I'm not going to do anything for you until I have my job. I don't care if I marry you. I don't care if I marry another man. I care if I do something that's special. I don't want to marry someone if I don't have a job first.
Now, is that hilarious or what? She knew what she wanted, didn't she? Okay, here's my take. The problem with this question is the fact that you said that in the beginning, you and he had determined that you guys didn't want to get married. So that shows me that you were at least talking about your values, you were at least talking about your expectations before you guys actually start living together, which is good. However, you have to understand that people grow, people change, or your boyfriend has to understand this as well, that people grow, people change. Sometimes your values change. Sometimes those things that we thought were very important in the beginning of a relationship aren't really that important anymore. Or sometimes, as in your case, Chantel, something that you didn't really think that was that valuable or that important has now become very important to you. So that's the first law, I guess, of human nature, is that we're human. We change. We change our minds all the time. Our values sometimes change. And you need to give yourself a break and give yourself a little bit of grace and say, you know what? Yeah, in the beginning, I didn't want to get married, but I changed my mind. Now I do. The other thing that I want to tell you about is in relationships, it is critical that you are understanding. Now, this is whether you are in a parent-child relationship, husband and wife relationship, in your case, boyfriend-girlfriend, you have to have an understanding and an open mind. Hopefully, your boyfriend is at least understanding and he can hear some of your viewpoints and some of your reasons as to why you want to get married. And you also need to listen to what he's really saying about why he doesn't, which leads me into my next point, which is learn from this process. Okay, because see, I believe that it's not really the absence of conflict that determines the strength of a relationship, but it's how you handle the conflict. So right now you guys are having a conflict, a pretty important one, and you're going to be able to learn a lot if you pay attention. And if you look at how your boyfriend processes through problems, you need to look at, is he really understanding and compassionate? Does he really value my opinions? Look at those things, okay, because that's going to tell you a lot. Is he willing to compromise? The other thing that you need to ask yourself, Chantel, is he even husband material? Because a lot of times we get in relationships, and I say sometimes, especially if you've been in a relationship with someone for a long time, it can become like an old comfortable sock. Right? It's just kind of your go-to thing. You like that sock, it's comfortable. It might be a little worn around the edges, maybe a little hole or here or there, but it's your comfortable sock and you put it on, you're just so used to it. And that's how relationships can be sometimes. They can just become our comfort zone. But look at your boyfriend right now and say, is this the man of my dreams? Is he someone that I actually want to spend the rest of my life with? Just because you've been in a relationship with him for 4 years doesn't necessarily mean that he's husband material. So ask yourself that and be willing to be honest with yourself and listen, even if the answer isn't something that you really want to hear. The last thing that I would tell you, Chantel, and this is what I tell anybody, whether you have a relationship question, whether you have a business question, you have to determine, what do you really want in life? What do you really want in life? It's not about your boyfriend right now. It's about, what do you want? Do you really want to be married? Because if you really want to be married and he cannot fulfill that need for you, then you're going to either be frustrated or you're going to need to move on. And that is going to be a hard decision for you. It's not my place to tell you what to do. Should you break up with him or should you not? But I really want you to ask yourself, am I going to be able to live in a boyfriend-girlfriend situation with him for the next 10 years? If the answer is no, well, then I think you know what you need to do. So I hope everything works out for you. I do believe that communication is absolutely critical. I think that as you guys begin to really dialogue, then you're going to need to talk about your fears, because I believe that there might be some fears that he has. I don't know, whether he's been married before, or maybe he came from a home where his parents divorced or what. But I believe a lot of times there are fears, underlying fears sometimes that we haven't even acknowledged that might be at play. So be willing to talk about his fears and maybe even your fears. Do you want to get married because you're afraid that you're going to lose him? Do you want to get married because you're afraid of people judging you? Think about those things and be willing to talk about that. And I really do hope that everything really works out for you. So thanks for writing in. And if you have a relationship question that you want me to answer, please send your question to Q&A@danashay.com, and it just might be featured on the show. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.